Hey guys, CDTVthaG here, and the G of course stands for Got Amnesia. And the G stands for Got Amnesia. And the G stands for Got. And today, I'm gonna be reacting to They Got Amnesia by French Montana. Let's see if this album makes me wish that I had amnesia by the end of it. The Apple Music description for this project, man. It's no secret that French Montana works well with others. That is like the understatement of the century right there. In fact, that's not even an understatement. That's basically a lie. French Montana works well with others. I believe the words they were looking for is features always save French Montana songs. Over the course of an exceptionally prolific career, his voice has appeared alongside friends so often that one could be forgiven for forgetting that the Bronx-hailing MC is perfectly capable of holding it down by himself. I have yet to see it. The project's title could be related to an October 2021 Twitter spat where a user challenged followers to name 5 French Montana songs without features. Oh my god. This has come too far. We're giving social media too much of a platform here. Twitter is not a real place. We shouldn't be naming albums after things that happened on there. As you can probably tell by the intro, not the biggest French Montana fan, but if the music on here is good, then I'm gonna say that. So we will see. We've got 21 songs here. There's a lot that are solo songs. This is CDTVthaG history right here. The first time I've ever reacted to a French Montana album, and we're gonna see how it goes. So let's jump right into it and get started with the first track, which I believe is a skit because it's 46 seconds long, I See You, which of course relates to the cover and the story behind the cover.
Hey, yo, hit me back as soon as you get this message. She just told me you had a fucking heart attack or OD or some shit like that. Yeah, when you get this message, call me, man.
I'm not sure who that was leaving the message, but that of course relates to the cover of the album, which is inspired by when French Montana was in the ICU, I think in like 2019. That's probably the better thing to say this album is inspired by than some Twitter stuff. The Apple Music description is funny, but I feel like parts of it sort of did him dirty. But yeah, that's the little intro, so let's get into the first song on this project. Track number 2, How You King. Okay, so it's the same beat from the intro skit.
I get these thoughts in my head, but I wouldn't do it anyway. How you the king, rock star with a loose string or loose change, or Donnie Brasco when the blues came? Do you put Hov where you put Big and Snoop at? Or you put him higher cause he made it bigger through that? Or the youngest making hits, classics, and dying in a couple years. They ones to the top of me. How you the king? Check the catalog. Who you stacking on? I'm in the crib like the Avalon.
It's not a bad start.
Hey, yo, hit me back as soon as you get this message.
It wasn't a track that blew me away, but it was pretty good. Pretty good. I can't be mad at that. Production from FNZ on here. I swear I saw FNZ on Zoo by Denzel Curry. That was the first project where I really like noticed their name in the production credits, and I swear I've seen them like everywhere since then. French's rapping was pretty on point, honestly, and I especially liked the singing on the intro at the start. It maybe went on for a little bit too long to the point where I was like, okay, let's get into the song now, but it wasn't too bad. I liked what he did on here. For what it's worth, I think he was good on this track. Let's get into track number 3, FWMGAB. I have no clue what that stands for, but I'm sure we'll find out. Okay, we got a Hips Don't Lie sample.
Uptown boys, nothing live. Get the bag, then I wiggle like wilder. Fuck with me, get it bag. Fuck with me, get it bag.
Who produced this? Okay.
Bitch, don't block your blessings. Diamonds disco flashing, drip toe tag, game super. She don't bust it open. Call back the Uber. I'm a dog, I'm a beast, gotta own, never lease.
Who knew what French Montana needed was a Shakira sample? Okay, so it doesn't directly sample Shakira. I just looked at the sample credits real quick there. It samples the same track, I'm assuming, that sampled, but everyone recognizes that as the Hips Don't Lie melody. But it's kind of bumping.
And you know it's going down when I drop like Mick Greco. Got it on lock, old school to the new school. Fuck with me, get it bad. Fuck with me, get it bad.
Shakira. Yo, okay, that was actually really good. That was a banger, man. Whoever produced that, god damn. They flipped it into a really nice beat. I feel like that's the best type of beat for French Montana. You know, there was just a lot of energy in that production, to the point that he didn't need to come through with an insane amount of energy to make it exciting. This is a French Montana solo song that I really like. Now, I'm not gonna get too ahead of myself. I know this was a single from the album, so I'm not gonna say like, whoa, French Montana has changed my mind. This is just the second song on the album, but it's started off pretty solidly. Okay, maybe we should just keep disrespecting French Montana on Twitter so that he keeps making better music. Track number 4, I Don't Really Care. I mean, I feel like you do, considering the album title was inspired by Twitter, by a little Twitter beef, but that's okay.
I make trends and forget about them. You know I'm still stunting through the virus. I don't really care. Top three snipes. I ain't do it with an African visa.
Really had to cram that rhyme in there. Did it with an African visa.
They jerked me out the Grammys. Next year I'm bringing 3 for the family.
They jerked you at the Grammys?
I don't really care. Stuck for the lie. I don't really care.
Why the fuck is he saying it like that? That one was more in line with what I was expecting from French Montana. That one dragged on a bit. The beat on that one was a lot more chilled out. It didn't have the energy of Fuck With Me, Get a Bag. A very sort of minimalistic sound to it, you could say. Those beats just don't work as well with French Montana for me. That's when he starts to feel a bit boring. And I don't know what that was about, the I don't really care. What are you doing, bro? What was that? Lyrically, the track wasn't all that interesting. There was references to like different rappers peppered in throughout there, but not really enough to give some life to the song. That was a pretty dull one to release as a single. So for I Don't Really Care, you could say I don't really care about it. So yeah, track number 5, Touch the Sky, featuring John Legend and Rick Ross. I don't really care.
Go flood 'em. I'm past different. 5 bitches, I sax 5th 'em. They smoke weed, but them a rockin' hash different. They tried to break the bond like Will and Jada.
The world needs to stop hearing about Will and Jada. I've heard too much information about that relationship, and I feel like a lot of it we didn't need to hear.
My hands touch the sky. Heart in my heart. I bet the way I live, they find it arousing. It is what it is, impeccable housing.
Rick Ross does have a lovely mansion. Have you seen the entrance to that thing?
Me and French, Hall of Fame coming off the bench. A Richard Millie, new McLaren, and the baddest bitch.
Perfect production for Rick Ross, man. He sounds good over that luxurious shit.
Heart in the mood, heart in my life, touch the sky.
Okay, I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. I've already got more tracks out of this album than I thought I would get going into it. Touch the Sky was another actually really solid song. Once again, French was pretty slick on it. The way he rapped on that actually felt like it carried some weight to it, and I think it fit in with the very luxurious sound of that instrumental. The John Legend chorus was really smooth, really catchy. The whole track just sounded kind of elegant and grand. I really enjoyed that one too. What is going on? What is going on? Let's keep going. Track number 6, we've got Mopstick featuring Kodak Black. I can't say I'm excited about the feature, but let's hear how it sounds, because Lockjaw wasn't that bad. Oh no, that beat already sounds so dead.
Catch one of you rap niggas, shoot you when your manager. Why that nigga ain't off yet?
It's making keys flip like a locksmith. Got a curve, but she trip. Megan Fox came with the machine. Call me Mr. Nice Watch. More jewels than icebox.
The lyrics aren't too bad on this one. Nice little references and similes.
On chopstick, fresh out the box. Don't get egg roll. We the type of niggas go missing.
Mopstick wasn't the worst thing I've ever heard from Kodak Black or French Montana, but that song had serious like background music energy. It's not something I could see myself choosing to listen to, you know. The beat again for that one played it a lot more quiet, a lot more laid back. That's not the type of production that I feel works best with French Montana. Towards the end, I sort of found my mind drifting off and thinking about more interesting stuff like taxes. Track number 7, Stuck in the Jungle, featuring Pop Smoke. Okay, this could be good. And Lil Durk.
I'm up in traffic, I ride with them guns, you know how we do every summer. Yeah, fucking these hoes all over the world, I never get groupies my number. Racing them lamb trucks, fresh in the front and I'm back in the bumper, yeah. I'm the A-Boogie, I keep on a hoodie, a hoodie.
This is like a good middle ground between melodic Durk and like rapping Durk.
I'm dangerous. Sucker ass niggas can't bang with us. Angel dust. South Bronx streets, they label.
Biggie interpolation.
Back of the block, yeah, it was hell. Yeah, serving the bundles. Lawyers and ops, yeah. Judged by 12, what is the mission? You know, I sit and I wonder. You speak to my dog in a couple of months, cause somebody tell him I love him.
What the fuck, man?
I looked the judge in his face, told him I don't know a thing. I wasn't there that night.
Stuck in the Jungle was wild. God damn it, man. It's really just taking me back how hard some of this bumps. I love the production on there. I thought French Montana's verse was actually really good. I thought he flowed pretty solidly with that beat. I love the reference to Biggie on Notorious Thugs. At the start of his verse, he sort of interpolated that same flow, some of the lyrics. Lil Durk, I love how he opened the track up. Like I said, it was like a sort of nice mix between his more like hard rapping and the melodic stuff, because I'm not a huge fan of melodic Durk on most songs, but on this track it really worked, and I think it was a really hard sound. Then you had that Pop Smoke hook, which sounded very like 50 Cent inspired, and I think that sounded great. And rest in peace, of course, to Pop Smoke. Just ridiculously talented, man. He had an insane level of star power. Everything about this track bumped. Like, I have no complaints about that. I actually really enjoyed it again. Am I the only one who feels this way? And I know a lot of my audience probably hasn't listened to this project themselves, but let me know down in the comments what you guys are thinking from like the snippets of the songs that you've heard in this video, because I think this sounds good for the most part. We've got track number 8, Handstand, featuring Doja Cat and Saweetie. Let's go.
Need a project bitch, a hood rap bitch. One don't give a fuck and said she took that dick.
Red bottoms got the flow sticky. You know my tricky 3/4 just to hide the blicky. Run Ricky, wagons, fleeks, bad bitch, freaky.
I got your man, doing bands.
Pop that pussy for me, do a handstand.
He need the stripper type of body, need it flexible. He like it thick like she ignorant on her vegetables. And they love me. So baby, lift my legs up like I'm wearing a huggy. Cute little puppy.
Okay, that was going pretty smooth until you said, lift my legs up like I'm wearing a huggy. Can we not compare sexual things to literal babies? Handstand was decent, but I didn't like it as much as Stuck in the Jungle, but I still think it was a pretty good song. Saweetie and Doja Cat, I think perfect features for that type of production and what the track was going for. They did it pretty solidly until Saweetie compared missionary position to putting a huggy on a baby. That was probably my least favorite bar on the album so far, but apart from that, I think everything else on this track was pretty hard. I would say French Montana's verse here was a bit more of sort of like a typical French Montana feature verse. The flow wasn't as exciting as it has been on other tracks on this album. He does that thing where he says like one word and then pauses and then one word and then pauses, and it's that sort of flow. But even then, it still kind of worked on this track. For the type of music that this is, it's pretty good. So we've got a good ratio so far. Sorry French, I didn't want to remind you about Twitter. But we've got a good ratio of the songs here so far, from good songs to bad songs. Track number 9, Panicking, featuring Fivio Foreign, which I'm very interested to hear after his performance on Off the Grid.
I got him panicking. Soon as I come through the spot, niggas know what's up. If he want smoke when I see him, I'm rolling him up. If he want beef, then it's beef, nigga, order it up. RP pop, I know they want us to stop. I get the money a lot, whether they love me or not.
I need to ask, man, has Fivio always been rapping like this? Because I swear, when he was on the XXL freshman list, I hadn't really listened to that much by him, so I decided to check out this EP that he had. I can't remember what it was called, and it was decent, but I wasn't crazy about it. You know, I wasn't too blown away by anything on there from what I can remember. But recently, I've been, like, loving everything that Fivio has came out with. For people who have listened to Fivio more than I have, like, have I been missing something? Or is he just getting better lately?
Break up, bitch, down. Break up, bitch, down. She was your girl, but she my bitch now. Flow, Wallace, wrist, timeless. I ain't tryna cuff, I'm tryna spell it backwards. Diamonds dancing like Bobby.
Yeah, the beat carried French on this one. This is like the first one where I've really felt like that. Oh, this samples the box? I didn't even notice. Well, I can hear it now. This was probably like the weakest verse from him on his project. When you've got a drill beat, you've got to come with that energy to match it. And he was just doing this really slow, broken up flow. When you've got a beat like that, you can't just come through with flow, wildest, wrist, timeless. It was that charisma drainer. It just took all the energy out of the song. Fivio was crazy on that. I really liked Fivio, so I am gonna listen to the song more for his parts. I'm not gonna be too harsh about it, because no other songs have been like that for me so far. So let's move on to track number 10, Didn't Get Far, featuring Fabolous.
Big bag like Santa Claus.
Oh my god, shut up.
Black coffee to glasses, same color molasses, same night at the Ashes. Mommy shaking asses, merge like a hyphen. It ain't about the money.
I tried, but I wouldn't get far. My fault that I didn't
It's a
get
fact of
far.
life, and you gotta respect
The
that.
piano keys.
For the hood niggas, front of bodegas and levers. For the bad bitches dressed in Bottega Veneta. This boys I'm running with, we used to play Sega together. You can catch drip, can't save you if they aiming to kill it. They'll shoot at the logo like they Damian Lillard.
Oh my god, Fabulous's verse was really nice. Wow. Oh my god. This is so much better than... I need to stop saying that, but this is so much better than I was expecting so far. Didn't Get Far was great. I don't feel like French Montana was carried by the production and the feature on that song, but Fabolous definitely had the best part of it. He was crazy. I haven't listened to too much of Fabolous's music, but maybe I need to, man. The rhyme scheme on there was just so slickly put together. Each bar just had that impact. It gave me the same vibe that I get when I listen to like Benny the Butcher's music. The beat, just mwah, immaculate. I liked French's verse too. I'm ready for people in the comments to be like, oh, you didn't like this album that I like, but you liked French Montana's album? What's wrong with you? As if they aren't two different pieces of music and I have my reasons for liking or disliking both. So now we do have a stretch of 3 French Montana solo songs, so let's see how that goes. Track number 11 on this album, The Paper.
I was stuck in ICU last year this time. Now I'm 30 mils up when I write this rhyme. Ducking, making sales, fuck a jail cell. Biting down off a pill, hope back, speed the pale bill. 20 packs, 12s in the 58. At 20 mil in Calabasas, some real estate. First they took Max, then I lost Chinks. Then Ross put me on, then Diddy got me rich. Montana was the name, Coke Boy was the stamp hand.
As someone that hasn't really kept up with French Montana throughout his career, this was like a nice little retrospective of his career right here. Just talking about where he came from and where he is now and how he gets the paper. He's got decent enough bars. It's not the most interesting or exciting music when it's a French Montana solo track on here is what I'm kind of noticing, but the French Montana solo tracks aren't super boring. You know, they're actually decently enjoyable. I think that's another thing. He doesn't write his verses in the most inventive or exciting ways, but what he's doing with this project is working so far, so I can't complain about it too much. And I like the production on there. The drums hit pretty hard, which I like. On to the next one, number 12 on the album, Tonight Only, produced by Harry Fraud. La Musica de Harry Frog.
I hit the TV on the side, tried to fix the channel. Tried to lock me on the block, but I'm a visionary. Only place success before work is in the dictionary. Pills ate my brain up, I'm hooked, my inside's cooked.
Is it me or is the mixing on this track a little weird of French's vocals?
One slip away, one plan away, one break away, one scam away.
Feeling a bit more cold on that one than I'm feeling hot on it. Maybe it is the novelty of this album wearing off a little bit, maybe, but Tonight Only, that was another one where I felt like the beat was really good. Again, French Montana always has high production value on his songs, pretty much. But the flow The flow on this one felt like very typical French Montana to me. Like, I've heard him rap like this before. I feel like there wasn't enough to it to be able to carry a beat like that. Like, that's a beat that you rap over. We got the last one in this stretch of solo tracks, track number 13, Business.
And I come from where they had no pot to piss it. Millie with no ice on my head, rockin' Richie. Hellcat and a demon, how bad would that go gadget? And check my face, call nigga, it ain't got no blemish. And fuck niggas get blitz at the line of scrimmage. Boy, don't make me reach. And I come from where they had no pot to piss it.
I need to say something about that chorus. VVS, these no SIs, you can't tell the difference. Isn't like the only way you can tell the difference between SI diamonds and VVS diamonds is through like a microscope? Not that I've got either, but I'm just saying, if I could, I'd get SI diamonds. That track wasn't too crazy about business. These last 3 songs have taken me out of the album a little bit. That's probably due to the fact that it's 21 songs long. Even for a French Montana project that's really good for the first half, that's still pretty long. The project weakens a little bit when I hear too much French Montana. Again, wonderful production, but I wasn't a big fan of that sort of more melodic auto-tune kind of flow that French Montana was going for on this one. He was delivering his vocals in a bit of a higher tone. Didn't really hit my ears in a nice way. But hey, we've hit another little stretch with some features, so let's keep going. Track number 14, we've got Push Start featuring Doug and Leray, another one of Twitter's least favorite people. I don't even really enjoy her music, but I feel like people just don't give her a chance on there because Twitter is just one big circle jerk. Hip-hop Twitter especially. Oh, come on, followers. Please like my opinions, please. I'm getting a bit off topic here.
Push start whip, no switch on it. Rolex so big, no tick on it. Lick on it. Touch on it, fuck on it, spit on it, suck on it.
Word of Trina, I'm a trick on it. I be trying to be a hoe, but I got feelings. She a little freak coming from my head top.
Rip say got a 6, I want all seals. Trip looking for the fit, hey, who this? Turn around, touch my feet on it. Yeah, real big baller. In-shot caller.
Push Start was okay. I do think Leray was pretty decent on that one. The main thing I don't like that she does on her music is when she does almost like the Playboy Carti imitation style, but she didn't do that on here. She actually rapped with a sort of deeper delivery. She contributed nicely to the song. Doug, I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about the way that he raps. On some songs, I think it's incredibly hard. I thought he was great on Lemonhead by Tyler, the Creator. I just love how the song transitions into his verse. But then I've heard him on songs like We Paid and Grace, and I didn't really love him on those songs. And on this song, I'm not too sure. It's kind of like Kodak's voice, but with more width to it, I feel like. And French Montana, he was fine on that one, but I feel like I'm starting to cool down on him as the album goes on. Like, this really should have been shorter, I feel like. He's sticking to the topics of the songs, but I feel like you also need to do that on top of writing things in a way that's sort of interesting. Let's move on to the next one. We've got track number 15, Striptease, featuring Dolla and Latto.
Striptease, she a bad little bitch, she a big tease. Counting face blue, hundreds from the 60s. She want it, I got it, no lease, I bought it.
How many songs on this album have done like those stuttering drums now? Is that supposed to be a little cheat code to inject some energy into the song? Because it doesn't work if you keep doing it.
Call him Poppy, Abu Dhabi with a private pilot. I know how to work the stick, but he bust automatic.
She a bad little bitch, she a big tease.
Striptease is another one I could do without. It was over pretty quickly. It was just a 2-minute song, but there was nothing in that one for me. The beat didn't have anything in it that really stood out to me. Dolla was doing some weird vocals on that one. Doing Striptease. It sounded almost like he was going like halfway towards a baby voice, like more sort of nasally, but he didn't fully commit to it. French Montana is wearing off of me a little bit the more the album goes on. It's not went like sharply down, but a bit of a plateau. So let's move on to track number 16, Bag Season, featuring Lil Tjay.
I want all the bags. I need all of that. I be stepping up the crib like I'm hot shit. Chain heavy, hella grands like a pop shit. I be feeling like the man when I drop shit. I want all the bag. I done open them doors, they mad.
I want all the bags. Shooting for the green like a Rondo. Ski mask like Kanye and Donda. It's lonely at the top.
I need all the bags.
That hook could have been a bit better if there was more to it, but it didn't sound good the way that it was. Yeah, the album is cooling off quite quickly. Bag season, once again, not outright bad, but just like kind of lackluster. It really lacked a punch, you know? There wasn't a punch there. I don't have anything else to say about that one other than like, it was just fine. It was fine. And who knows, maybe if I listen to the songs out of order, like after this reaction, I come back to the album and listen to the second half tracks first, maybe that would make them hit a bit harder, because part of this could be the fact that I'm just hearing so many French Montana tracks in a row. Maybe they'll sound a bit better when they're taken out of the album on their own. I still appreciate what I got in the first half, and I'm not going to forget about that. We got a solo song, track number 17, Fraud.
I ain't never fall in love with a begging that broad. I'm a trapper, not a scammer, ain't shit about me fraud. If a dope dick, she said she love when I'm nasty. I just wanna fuck her with my.
I like those pianos. Oh, and they're gone.
Swear she living single like she Maxine. Smooth like ghosts, got the power. Trapper turned a rapper, made $1 million in an hour. Dope boy shit, send a brick to an attic.
I do like the beat, but I just feel like French Montana couldn't carry that one on his own. If you give those exact same lyrics in that song to someone else with, I don't know, a more interesting or a more varied delivery, I feel like it could have been pulled off well, but with French Montana, that song just didn't really work for me. The first half definitely had a bit more of the sort of rappity rap songs, whereas it feels like the second half is going a bit more for the sort of basic sort of club banger style songs. But let's keep going. Track number 18, we have Prayer, Skit, and I'm just gonna let that run into track number 19, which is Appreciate Everything.
God, please bless the haters. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. God, we appreciate you. Thank you.
I don't count the plays, make the plays count. I don't count the days, make the days count. Came from the bottom, I appreciate everything. Going big dog status. Going big dog status. She look pretty when she happy. I treat her cause she look pretty when she happy. I appreciate the game, appreciate the bait, appreciate the pain.
Man, what the fuck is this? You've got to go in a beat like this, not do whatever this is.
G-spot, jackpot, G-spot, jackpot.
Yeah, I was really underwhelmed by that track, because when that started off, that sounded like a beat from the first half of the album. We had that more soulful sound again, but then French Montana, man, he sounded like he wasn't even trying on that beat. There was so much repetition, so many just slow moments with his flow on a beat like that, man. On a beat like that. G-spot, jackpot, like what are you saying? But let's move on to the next one. Track number 20, Losing Weight. 5 minutes, oh my god.
I got no money if I ain't moving weight. My life is based upon what I'ma do today. One eulogy, hold my mother and girl, smuggling pearls.
The first verse is probably the most emotion I've ever heard from French Montana.
Room for the plaques, that's for Max and Pen. When them bricks got crossed, I ain't tripping on you. You.
Shout out to my nigga, my best friend. This shit is wavy. That nigga step your shit up. I got it neat. French Montana.
It was okay, but 5 minutes long, French Montana, I just don't feel like he can carry it, because I don't really feel like he injects a whole lot of his personality into his music. So when he does a sort of deeper song like this, it doesn't hit as hard, you know? The beat was very nice on it. Once again, I love the production. The sample sounded really nice for the sort of bridge, and the outro sounded really clean. I liked the first verse. As it went on, again, the writing just felt really simplistic. On a 5 minute song, I feel like that's not gonna carry it well enough. But let's close it out with some high energy, because we're going back to one of the tracks from the first half. We've got the FWMGAB remix featuring Moneybagg. Yo,
we having shit, so we don't never pick the tag up. Got shit in motion, diamonds freeze, put your hands up. Walk them down in the club, put that heater to his Peter. I'm a certified speaker like the subs and the tweeters. Wait, you might be getting money, but it's at a low rate.
Uptown boys, nothing live. Fuck with me, get a bag. Fuck with me, get a bag.
Motherfuckers!
and there we go. That is the end of They Got Amnesia by French Montana. Honestly, putting that remix as the last track on the album was a good idea because it closed it out with some high energy. So I'm happy that that remix is the last track on the album. I think Moneybagg Yo was nice on it and just had the perfect voice for this type of beat. That's pretty much all I have to say. It was basically the same song with just another verse added on, and I think Moneybagg Yo worked good with it. So, let's get into my overall thoughts from this first listen to They Got Amnesia by French Montana. You guys followed the sort of arc of my reaction as I went through this. The first half was definitely the highlight of this project for me. In the second half, there was almost nothing there for me, but like I said while I was reacting to it, that might just be because it was after hearing the first half and maybe I sort of got pulled out of it the more the album went on. I don't know. But I do find it hard to fully invest in French Montana as a rapper. I don't feel like the writing is super strong from him, you know? There's not a lot of times where I hear a verse and I feel like he killed it. But yeah, I still got more out of this project than I thought I would, so I guess that's something. Up to Didn't Get Far, it was pretty good. Like, I could make a decent little 10, 11 song playlist out of this album and listen to that, and I think I would enjoy it more than the full project. Songs in the second half that I could see growing on me over time are probably Push Start, maybe Bag Season. And maybe if I listen to Losing Weight a bit more, it will connect with me more. So let's just go through my favourite and least favourite tracks from this project. Favourites, I would say Fuck With Me, Get a Bag, Touch the Sky, that was good. Stuck in the Jungle. Stuck in the Jungle was probably my 100% favourite on this project. That song was great. Everyone was really good on that, including French. Panicking, even though I didn't really like French on that song, I think Fivio and the beat carried it enough. And Didn't Get Far. I thought Didn't Get Far was great, and I definitely want to check out more of Faboulous' music after hearing that song. As for least favorites, I'd say that's harder to pick. I don't really care. That's one of my least favorites for sure. Maybe Mopstick. I'll throw that on there for now. Striptease, because there was just nothing in that song. Fraud and Appreciate Everything, because I feel like Appreciate Everything should have been so much better with the beat that it had, but then it just ended up being so underwhelming that it was to the level it was disappointing. So I feel like that's pretty balanced for favorites and least favorites, but even then, like I said, the songs that I put in the least favorites, it's not like there was anything overwhelmingly bad about them. They just weren't all that exciting or attention grabbing. They were just kind of dull tracks. As for the features, I think most of the features came through on this project. I feel like if French Montana is the one that decided on these features, then he's pretty good as sort of like a curator. Like, he puts the right artists on the right beats. Was it one of the best albums I've heard this year? Definitely not. If we're going, you know, tier list, S, A, B, C, D, I'd say this is between like a B and a C off of this first listen, just because of that plateau that it took into the second half. I got more out of it than I expected, but it's still not a great album. It really didn't go as bad as I was expecting. I do not wish that I had Amnesia. So, what do you guys think about this project if you have heard it? I feel like a lot of my subscribers have not listened to this album, but if you have, let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. As always, I encourage you to listen to the music yourself and make your own minds up about it. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. You can click right here for another reaction that I think you guys will enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next one. This is CDTVthaG, signing out.